Somebody help me! It's burning! My dress is burning!
Jesus!
The gown is on fire! How can a dress catch fire inside AC?
They said forgiveness was better than revenge, but they never met Amaka. I warned her, pay me, respect me, just do what's right. She laughed, said I should be grateful for exposure. Now the whole world is watching. The gown she wore to mock me, it's finally speaking for itself.
The sound of a sewing machine hums through the cramped shop in Surulere. The needle punches through ivory silk, rhythm steady, almost hypnotic. Thread pools at the foot of the machine like golden rivers. The walls are lined with half-finished gowns, hanging like ghosts waiting to be born. Lace spills from cardboard boxes. A mannequin stands in the corner draped in unfinished tulle. Adeora sits hunched over the machine, her back curved from years of this same position. Her fingers guide the fabric with the precision of someone who has done this 10,000 times. Sweat beads on her forehead, despite the rattling fan above. The heat never leaves Lagos. It clings to skin like guilt. The radio crackles. A high-life song plays softly. The DJ's voice breaks through. And remember, my people, pay your debts. Don't let pride eat your conscience. Adeora almost laughs. Almost. A knock at the door breaks her concentration. She looks up, blinking away the strain in her eyes. The knock comes again, sharper this time. I'm coming. She rises slowly, joints stiff, and crosses the small room. The floorboards creak beneath her feet. She opens the door to find a young delivery boy holding a golden envelope. He thrusts it toward her without ceremony. Delivery. For Adeora. She takes it, confusion crossing her face. The boy is already walking away, flip-flops slapping against the dusty street. She closes the door and turns the envelope over in her hands. Heavy paper. Expensive. The kind that smells like money. She tears it open. Gold lettering, embossed flowers, a wedding invitation. You are cordially invited to the wedding of Amaka Okonkwo and Tunde Adeleke. Her breath catches. That name, Amaka. The envelope slips slightly in her grip. Her jaw tightens. Her eyes darken like clouds before a storm. She stares at the invitation for a long moment, reading it again, as if the words might change. They don't. She whispers, voice low and venomous. You think I forgot? The radio plays on. The fan rattles. The gowns hang silent. Adeora walks slowly back to her sewing machine and places the invitation on the table beside her scissors. She picks up a needle and pricks her finger deliberately. A drop of blood wells up, dark and red. She watches it for a moment, then wipes it on a scrap of white fabric. The stain spreads. She smiles, but there is no warmth in it. No, Amaka, I didn't forget. If someone cheated you out of everything you worked for, would you forgive them? Or would you wait, patiently, for the perfect moment to remind them what pain feels like? The screen fades and we travel backward in time. 6 months earlier. The same shop, but fuller, brighter. There are flowers on the windowsill. Adeora is younger in spirit, her smile genuine as she works on a gown spread across a large cutting table. This gown is different, special. White silk that shimmers like moonlight. Gold lace imported from India. Tiny crystals hand-sewn into the bodice. Every stitch is a prayer. She works late into the night. The clock on the wall ticks past midnight. Her fingers bleed from needle pricks, but she doesn't stop. She hums a song her mother used to sing, a song about patience, about reward. Days pass in a blur of fabric and thread. She barely eats. Her sister brings her jollof rice in a plastic container, and Adeora eats 3 spoonfuls before returning to the gown. She loses weight. Her eyes sink, but the gown grows more beautiful. Finally, it is finished. She holds it up in the early morning light, and it glows. The gold lace catches the sun. The crystals sparkle like stars. It is, without exaggeration, a masterpiece. She wraps it carefully in plastic and places it in a garment bag. She calls a taxi. The driver helps her load it into the back seat as if it were made of glass. Careful, oh, this is my future? The driver nods, understanding the weight of dreams. The taxi weaves through Lagos traffic. Danfo buses honk. Hawkers shout. The sun beats down mercilessly. Adaora clutches the garment bag, protective, hopeful. They arrive at Lekki. The houses here are different, gated, guarded, painted in soft pastels. Palm trees line the streets. The air smells cleaner, as if even pollution respects wealth. The gate to Amaka's mansion opens slowly. The security guard barely looks at her. Tailor? Yes. Go to the back. Of course. The back. She walks around the side of the house, past luxury cars parked in the driveway, a Range Rover, a Benz, a Porsche that gleams like a jewel. She clutches her garment bag tighter. The back door leads to a sitting room filled with women, bridesmaids. They lounge on white leather sofas, sipping champagne, laughing loudly. Their makeup is flawless. Their weaves are Brazilian. Their nails are freshly done. Amaka sits in the center like a queen. She is beautiful in the way that money makes people beautiful. Her skin glows from expensive facials. Her teeth are perfectly white. She wears a silk robe with her initials embroidered in gold thread. When Adaora enters, the laughter pauses for a moment. Eyes turn. Assess. Dismiss. Oh, the tailor's here. Amaka's voice is sweet, but there is something underneath. Something sharp. Adaora forces a smile. Good afternoon, Ma. I brought your gown. I finished it just as you asked. I think you will love it. She unzips the garment bag slowly, carefully, and pulls out the gown. The room goes silent. Even the bridesmaids stop pretending to be unimpressed. The gown is breathtaking. The silk flows like water. The gold lace shimmers. The crystals catch the light and throw tiny rainbows across the walls. One bridesmaid whispers, "Wow, that's beautiful." Another leans forward. "Where did she get that lace?" Amaka stands and walks over. She takes the gown from Adaora's hands without asking. She holds it up against herself, turning to the mirror. She tilts her head, examining every detail. Adaora watches, hope rising in her chest. "Ma, I worked very hard on this. I sewed every crystal by hand. The lace is imported. The stitching is reinforced so it will last. I made it exactly as you wanted." Amaka doesn't respond. She continues to examine the gown, running her fingers over the fabric. Finally, she turns to her friends. "What do you think?" They chorus their approval. "It's perfect. You'll be the most beautiful bride. No one will have a gown like this." Amaka smiles, satisfied. She hands the gown back to Adaora carelessly. "Okay, you can leave it there." Adaora hesitates. Her voice is soft, careful. "Ma." About the payment. The room shifts. The temperature drops. Amaka's smile fades. She turns slowly to face Adaora, one eyebrow raised. "Payment?" "Yes, Ma. We agreed on 400,000 naira. I bought all the materials myself. The silk, the lace, the crystals. I worked for 3 weeks straight. I need the money to restock my shop and pay my rent." Amaka laughs. It is not a kind laugh. It is the laugh of someone who has never worried about rent. "You need the money?" The bridesmaids giggle. One of them records on her phone. Adaora's face burns with embarrassment, but she stands her ground. "Yes, Ma, that was our agreement." Amaka steps closer. Her perfume is expensive, suffocating. "Let me tell you something. This dress is going to be seen by Lagos elite. Politicians, CEOs, celebrities. Do you know what that means for you? Exposure. Your little shop will get noticed. People will see this gown and ask who made it, and I'll tell them your name. That is your payment. Exposure. You should be thanking me." Adora's hands tremble. She clasps them together to hide it. "But Mas, I have bills. I have rent. I bought the materials on credit. Please, I'm begging you. Even half of the money. Anything." Amaka's expression hardens. She turns to her friends, voice dripping with mock sympathy. "See how desperate she is? So local, so hungry. These people think money grows on trees? The bridesmaids laugh. The one with the phone zooms in on Adora's face, captures the humiliation, the tears forming, the shame. Adora's voice cracks. Please, ma, just the money you promised. Amaka waves her hand dismissively. You can go now. Thank you for the dress. Close the door on your way out. Adora stands frozen. The room spins slightly. She wants to scream, to grab the gown and tear it apart, to demand her dignity back. But she is poor, and the poor do not make demands. She turns and walks to the door, each step heavy with defeat. Behind her, the laughter continues. One bridesmaid's voice carries. Did you see her shoes? Probably from Balogan Market. More laughter. Adora closes the door behind her. She walks through the compound, past the luxury cars, past the security guard who doesn't look up. She reaches the street and stands under the sun, tears streaming down her face. A taxi passes. She doesn't wave it down. She needs to walk, to breathe, to stop her hands from shaking. If you're enjoying this story of revenge and justice, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. You don't want to miss how this ends. Trust me, the video appears online within hours. Adora watches it on her cracked phone screen, sitting in her shop as darkness falls. The caption reads, "Local tailor begging rich client for money. So embarrassing." The views climb. 1,000, 5,000, 20,000. The comments pour in. This is so sad. Pay people their money. But also, why is she begging like that? Have some dignity. Rich people are so wicked. She should have asked for money up front. Her fault. Her phone rings. A client. Hello, Adora? I'm sorry, but I have to cancel my order. I saw the video. I can't be associated with that kind of drama. Click. Another call. Another cancellation. Then another. By the end of the week, her schedule is empty. Her deposit box is empty. Her stomach is empty. She sits in the dark shop staring at her sewing machine. The machine that fed her. That paid her school fees when she was younger. That helped her mother with hospital bills. Now silent. Useless. She lights a candle because NEPA has taken the light. The flame flickers, casting shadows on the walls. She stares at it, mesmerized by the way it consumes the wick. Slowly. Completely. Her hand drifts too close. The flame licks her wrist. She jerks back, gasping. A small burn mark appears, red and angry. She stares at it, touches it gently. The pain is sharp. Real. She whispers into the darkness. Fire. 3 weeks pass. Adora barely leaves the shop. Her sister brings food. Her friends call, worried. She doesn't answer. She sits at her table, sketching, designing, planning. On her table, rolls of ivory silk, gold lace. Metallic thread that catches light strangely, and something else. A small container labeled in technical script, heat-reactive fibers, invisible to the eye, activated by warmth, combustible under stage lighting. She had researched for days, called old contacts from fashion school, asked careful questions, paid cash at a chemical supply store in Ikeja, using the last of her savings. The man behind the counter had asked, "What do you need this for?" She had smiled sweetly. Fashion innovation. He had shrugged. Money is money. Now she sits with the fiber samples, testing them with a lighter. They shimmer before igniting. Beautiful and deadly. Like betrayal. She begins to sketch a new gown, similar to the one she made for Amaka, but better, more intricate, a masterpiece of deception. At the hem, she stitches a label, Phoenix line, rise again. She works in silence. Her hands move with purpose. She weaves the heat-reactive fibers into the inner lining, invisible against the silk. She tests it with a hairdryer. The fabric warms, shimmers, glows faintly. Perfect. She doesn't pray while she works this time. Prayer is for people seeking mercy. She is seeking justice. Her phone buzzes. A message from a mutual friend in the tailoring community. "Sis, you won't believe this. Amaka is ordering another gown from abroad. She's telling people she designed the dress you made. She's even talking about starting her own fashion line. Adora reads the message twice. Her jaw clenches. Then, slowly, she smiles. She types back. Is she still looking for special materials? I heard she wants imported silk thread. The response comes quickly. Yes. She's been asking everyone. She wants something unique. Tell her I have something. Premium silk threads from Paris. Very expensive, very exclusive. Really? I can connect you. No, use a middleman. Don't mention my name. 3 days later, the order comes through a third party. Amaka wants the special threads. She'll pay a premium. She wants to prove she's a designer now. Adora packages the heat-reactive threads in elegant boxes, labels them in French, includes a certificate of authenticity. She even perfumes the packaging. She whispers to herself as she seals the box. This isn't revenge, Amaka. This is memory. The wedding day arrives like Christmas morning. Victoria Island is alive with anticipation. The luxury hotel glitters with preparation. White roses overflow from every corner. Gold ribbons drape from chandeliers. A string quartet plays Pachelbel. Outside, Lagos traffic rages. Inside, wealth insulates. The air conditioning runs cold. Waiters in crisp uniforms carry trays of champagne. Guests arrive in designer outfits, air-kissing, comparing jewelry, gossiping. Amaka is in the bridal suite, surrounded by makeup artists, hairstylists, and bridesmaids. Her face is a mask of foundation and highlighter. Her hair is piled high in an elaborate updo studded with pins that cost more than Adiora's monthly rent. The gown hangs on a mannequin, waiting. It is perfect. Adiora's design, replicated exactly, but now claimed as Amaka's creation. The gold lace shimmers. The crystals catch light. The silk flows like liquid moonlight. Sewn into the lining, invisible, the heat-reactive threads wait patiently. Amaka steps into the gown. The bridesmaids zip her up, gasping at how beautiful she looks. You're going to break the internet. This gown is everything. You designed this yourself? You're so talented. Amaka smiles, accepting praise that isn't hers. She turns to the mirror, admiring herself. She doesn't think about Adora, doesn't remember the woman she humiliated. The poor are forgettable. Downstairs, the guests are seated. The groom waits at the altar, nervous and sweating despite the air conditioning. The violins begin. Everyone stands. Amaka appears at the entrance. A collective gasp. She is radiant. The gown catches every light, shimmering like something from a fairy tale. She begins her walk down the aisle, slow and deliberate, savoring every eye on her. Among the staff, standing near the back in a simple black dress, Adora watches. Her face is calm. Her hands are steady. She holds a tray of drinks she has no intention of serving. A woman next to her whispers, "That dress is stunning. I heard the bride designed it herself." Adora's lips twitch. Is that so? Before we get to the fire, drop a like if you think Amaka deserves what's coming, and subscribe so you don't miss stories like this. Now let's watch it all burn. Would you have come? If someone stole from you, humiliated you, destroyed your reputation, would you have attended their moment of triumph just to watch them fall? Or would you have stayed far away, afraid of your own anger? The ceremony proceeds. Vows are exchanged, rings are placed. The pastor pronounces them husband and wife. Applause erupts, camera flashes. Amaka beams, victorious. The reception begins. Dinner is served. Jollof rice, perfectly cooked. Grilled chicken, fried plantains. Small chops circulate. The DJ plays Afro beats. People dance. Laughter fills the room. Amaka and her new husband take the floor for their first dance. The DJ announces them with flourish. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Adalek. The lights dim. Spotlights focus on the couple. Warm, golden, bright. They begin to sway to a slow song. Amaka's gown sparkles under the lights. The gold lace glows. The silk shimmers beautifully, too beautifully. A bridesmaid at a nearby table tilts her head, confused. She leans toward her friend. Does that dress look weird to you? Like it's moving? Her friend squints. It's just the lights. But the shimmer intensifies. The fabric seems to pulse and to breathe. Another guest sniffs the air. Do you smell something burning? Others smell it now. A faint, acrid scent, like plastic melting. Like something wrong. On the dance floor, Amaka doesn't notice. She is lost in her moment, eyes closed, smiling. Then she feels it. Heat, starting at her hem, rising. She opens her eyes, looks down. The bottom of her gown is glowing, not reflecting light, glowing. The gold lace flickers, once, twice. Then it ignites. A small flame appears at the hem, then another. They crawl up the fabric like living things, spreading across the heat-reactive threads woven into the silk. Amaka screams. The music stops. The guests freeze. Time seems to slow. The flames grow. They race up the side of the gown, licking at the gold lace, consuming the crystals, melting the silk. Smoke rises. The smell of burning fabric fills the room. Amaka tears at the dress, screaming. Her husband tries to help, pulling at the fabric, burning his hands. Guests stumble backward, horrified. Children cry, women shriek. Someone yells, "Water! Get water!" A waiter runs with a champagne bucket and throws it on the flames. It helps, barely. The fire dims, but doesn't die. The dress is ruined. Half of it hangs in charred strips. Amaka's legs are visible, skin red with minor burns. Her makeup runs with tears. Security rushes in. Someone has a fire extinguisher. White foam sprays across the bride, across the groom, across the dance floor. The foam mixes with champagne and melted fabric. The fire dies. Silence. Amaka stands in the center of the room, covered in foam, her dress a smoking ruin. She is sobbing, hyperventilating, her carefully constructed image destroyed in moments. A guest films on their phone. Another takes pictures. The internet waits. Then Amaka's eyes, wild with panic and rage, scan the room. They land on Adora, still standing calmly near the back. Recognition dawns. Horror. Understanding. Amaka points with a trembling hand. Her! It's her! She did this! All eyes turn to Adora. Security begins to move toward her. Guests whisper frantically. The groom looks confused, not understanding. Adora doesn't run, doesn't hide. She sets down her tray slowly and walks forward, calm, steady. She stops a few feet from Amaka and speaks in a voice that carries across the silent room. You wore fire and called it silk. That's not jealousy, Amaka. That's justice. The room erupts in murmurs. Phones come out. Recording. Capturing. Amaka screams, "Arrest her! She tried to kill me! She's insane! She's bitter!" Adaora's voice remains calm, almost sad. Kill you? No. I wanted you to feel what I felt. You took my work and called it yours. You took my money and called it exposure. You took my dignity and made it entertainment. I just wanted you to remember what it feels like to burn. An older woman in the crowd, Amaka's mother, pushes forward. Her face is twisted with anger, but not at Adaora. She turns to her daughter. Is this true? You didn't pay her? Amaka's mouth opens, closes. No words come. Her mother continues, voice rising. You did this to yourself. All of this because of pride, because you're too proud to do what's right. Other guests begin to nod, whisper agreement. She should have just paid her. This is what happens when you cheat people. That woman worked hard on that dress. Security reaches Adora. They grab her arms. She doesn't resist. As they lead her away, she turns back once. Her eyes meet Amaka's. There is no triumph in her gaze, no joy, just a quiet, terrible satisfaction. I told you, she says softly. I didn't forget. The arrest makes headlines within hours. Seamstress burns bride's dress in revenge plot. Lagos wedding turns into nightmare. Tailor arrested after gown catches fire. But the comments section tells a different story. The video spreads. People watch the old video of Tailor being humiliated. Then they watch the new video of the burning dress. They connect the dots. Hashtags trend. The burning bride. Justice for the tailor. Pay your workers. Amaka the scammer. Public opinion shifts like wind. Sympathy floods toward Tailor. Anger focuses on Amaka. Fashion designers speak out. Always pay your tailors. This is the consequence of exploitation. Social commentators weigh in. This is about class warfare. The rich think they can use and discard the poor. Even celebrities tweet, "Pay people what you owe them." It's that simple. Tailor is released after 48 hours. The police find insufficient evidence of intent to cause serious harm. The burns on Amaka were superficial. The fire was controlled. No one was seriously injured. It could have been an accident. Faulty materials. Who can prove otherwise? Outside the station, reporters swarm Tailor. Microphones in her face. Cameras flashing. How do you feel? Do you regret it? Was it worth it? She shields her eyes from the lights. Speaks quietly. I regret that it came to this. I regret that I had to choose between my dignity and her comfort. But no, I don't regret reminding her that actions have consequences. If this story touched you, if you understand Tailor's pain, smash that like button. Subscribe for more stories about justice, revenge, and truth. Drop a comment telling us what you would have done. Amaka's world collapses faster than her dress burned. Her husband files for annulment within a week. I didn't marry a woman who steals designs and humiliates people. Her business partners pull out of deals. We can't be associated with this scandal. Her social media accounts are flooded with criticism. Brands drop her. Event planners cancel contracts. Her reputation, carefully built on luxury and connections, crumbles. As she tries to fight back, she gives interviews. She hires lawyers. She claims she was attacked by a bitter maid and that the fire was attempted murder. But the evidence is thin. The public is unconvinced. Her own friends begin to distance themselves, unwilling to be dragged into the controversy. Meanwhile, Tailor's phone rings constantly. International fashion houses. We love your work. Can we collaborate? Nigerian designers, we want to feature you in our showcase. A documentary crew. We want to tell your story. She says no to most, but she accepts a few, the ones that matter. 3 months later, she opens a new studio. Not in Surulere this time, somewhere better. Still in Lagos, still accessible but bigger, brighter. The sign above the door reads Phoenix by Tailor, where every stitch rises again. The opening night is attended by everyone who matters. Fashion journalists, designers, young tailors who see her as inspiration. Even some of Amaka's former friends, now seeking redemption through association with the right side of history. Tailor wears a dress she designed herself. Pure white, simple, elegant, and sewn with the same heat-reactive thread, but now reimagined. Under gentle lighting, the fabric glows faintly, beautifully, not burning, shining. The fire transformed into light. A reporter approaches with a microphone. Tailor, you've become a symbol. People call you a hero. How does that feel? She considers the question carefully. I'm not a hero. Heroes don't burn dresses. I'm just someone who got tired of being stepped on, who decided that my work, my dignity, my worth, they matter, even if no one else believed it. Do you regret it? The question everyone wants answered. She looks directly into the camera. Her voice is steady, clear. No, because sometimes fire doesn't destroy, it reveals. It showed Amaka who she really is. It showed me who I really am. And it showed everyone watching that you can't steal from people without consequences. Not forever. The reporter persists. What would you say to Amaka if you saw her today? Tailor pauses. When she speaks, there is no anger, only truth. I would say, thank you. Thank you for teaching me that patience is not weakness, that justice delayed is not justice denied, That every stitch, every thread, every moment of humiliation, it all led to this. To me, standing here, free, while you sit wherever you are, burning in a different kind of fire, the fire of shame. And unlike my fire, yours won't go out so easily. The camera lingers on Adora in her new showroom. Sunlight pours through floor-to-ceiling windows. Young women sit at sewing machines, learning, creating, rising. The sound of needles punching through fabric fills the air like music. Adora walks to a table where a new gown is being constructed. She runs her fingers over the silk, feeling the texture, remembering the pain it once represented. Now it represents possibility. She picks up a needle, tests its sharpness against her thumb. A drop of blood appears. She smiles. It doesn't hurt anymore. Or maybe it does, but she's learned that pain can be transformed, that scars can be beautiful, that fire can burn away the old and make room for something new. On the wall framed is the original invitation to Amaka's wedding. Next to it, the burn scar on a piece of white fabric, the one from the candle that night. Reminders, not of revenge, of resurrection. A young apprentice approaches shyly. "Ma, someone is asking if we can make a wedding gown." She said she wants something that will make people remember her forever. Adaora's smile is soft, knowing. Tell her yes, but also tell her this. The most memorable dress isn't the one that looks the most beautiful. It's the one worn by a woman who treats people with respect. Because beauty fades, but character, that burns forever. The apprentice nods, not fully understanding, but sensing the wisdom. As she walks away, Adaora returns to her work. The needle moves, the thread follows, the fabric transforms. Outside, Lagos continues. Traffic, noise, chaos, injustice. But inside this small space, there is order. There is justice. There is proof that the poor do not have to stay poor. That the silenced do not have to stay silent. That sometimes the fire doesn't consume you. Sometimes you become the fire. Final voiceover. As the camera slowly pulls away from the shop, the light fading to gold. Be careful what you take from the poor. Be careful how you treat the people who serve you, who work for you, who trust you. Because someday they will take back their dignity, and it will burn brighter than your wealth, hotter than your pride, more beautiful than anything you ever stole. Because dignity, once reclaimed, is a fire that never dies. If you made it this far, you're part of the family. Hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. What would you have done if someone humiliated you like Adeora? Forgive, or let the fire speak for itself. See you in the next story.